Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a concept that we often overlook, the power of silence. It's something we don't talk about much, but silence can be one of your greatest protectors. In a world that constantly pushes us to speak, to react, to respond, it takes real strength to stay quiet. But let me tell you this, silence is not just the absence of noise, it's a choice. And sometimes it's the best decision you can make for yourself. The power of restraint is a concept that many overlook in the fast-paced, reactive world we live in today. It's not a weakness, it's the quiet strength that allows a person to rise above their impulses, to hold back when the world is pushing them to react. Restraint is the discipline of knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. It's the ability to control your responses, to pause and to think before you act. And in a world full of noise and drama, restraint becomes a form of personal power, a way of protecting your peace and your integrity. In every moment, we are faced with choices. When someone insults you, when someone tries to provoke you, when circumstances don't go as planned, the immediate response is often to react, to defend yourself, to fire back with words, to raise your voice in anger, to fight back against the things that are trying to hurt you. But what if you resisted that urge? What if instead of reacting, you took a step back, paused, and chose restraint? Restraint doesn't mean you are weak or afraid to speak up. In fact, restraint requires more strength than reacting. Reacting is easy, it's instinctual. But restraint takes patience, discipline, and control. It's the ability to say, I won't let this situation control me. I won't allow my emotions to dictate my actions. It's choosing to remain calm in the storm and to hold your ground without needing to prove anything. When you practice restraint, you are exercising control over your emotions and your reactions. You are saying, I am not going to allow external circumstances to determine my inner state. This is especially important in the heat of conflict. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, to let your emotions take over, to say things you don't mean, or to escalate a situation that could have been avoided. But when you choose restraint, you give yourself space to think clearly. Instead of speaking from a place of anger or frustration, restraint gives you the ability to respond from a place of peace and wisdom. You recognize that not every situation requires a response, and that sometimes silence is the most powerful tool you can wield. Restraint also gives you the ability to hold on to your integrity. In moments of pressure, it's easy to fall into the trap of responding in a way that compromises your character. It's tempting to say something cutting, to engage in gossip, to lash out in ways that might feel good in the moment, but damage your reputation in the long term. But restraint prevents you from making those choices. It allows you to protect your dignity and stay true to who you are, even when others are doing everything they can to pull you into a negative cycle. The beauty of restraint is that it doesn't require you to suppress your emotions or deny how you feel. Instead, it teaches you to manage your responses so that you don't let your emotions rule your actions. It gives you the power to decide when to engage and when to walk away, when to speak up and when to remain silent. By practicing restraint, you're not giving in to passivity or weakness. You're choosing to rise above the noise and take control of your actions. Restraint is also a powerful form of self-care. When we react impulsively, we can sometimes say or do things that we later regret. It can cause rifts in relationships, create unnecessary conflict, or even damage our own peace of mind. But when you exercise restraint, you are protecting your own emotional well-being. You are saying no to unnecessary stress and drama. You are creating space for clarity and thoughtful action instead of reacting out of haste or emotion. In this way, restraint is not just about controlling your external actions, it's also about guarding your internal peace. Guarding your peace is one of the most vital practices you can implement in your life, yet it is often overlooked or undervalued. In a world filled with constant noise, demands, and pressures, it becomes increasingly important to create and maintain inner peace. The truth is, peace is not something that just happens. It's something that must be intentionally guarded, protected, and nurtured. That's a responsibility that falls on you to safeguard the calm within your spirit, no matter what's happening around you. Peace is not the absence of conflict, but rather the ability to maintain a sense of calm, balance, and clarity, even in the midst of chaos. The world is constantly pulling us in different directions. There's always something demanding your attention, whether it's work, relationships, social media, or even your own internal struggles. Every day brings its own challenges, and without boundaries, it's easy to get swept up in the current of stress, frustration, and negativity. This is why guarding your peace is not only essential, but also requires a deep sense of intentionality. One of the most powerful ways to guard your peace is by setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential in protecting your emotional and mental well-being. Without boundaries, people, situations, and even your own internal dialogues can overwhelm you. When you allow others to take more than they give, when you constantly say yes out of obligation instead of choosing what aligns with your values, your peace begins to fade. Setting boundaries allows you to create a safe space for yourself, a space where you decide what will enter and what will stay out. It gives you the power to say no to things that drain you, to preserve your energy, and to protect your emotional health. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you. They are shields meant to protect what matters most, your inner peace. Mindfulness is another powerful tool in the process of guarding your peace. In a world where we're constantly on the go, we often forget to be present in the moment. Our minds race ahead to the future or dwell on the past, and in doing so, we lose our peace in the present. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing your full attention to the here and now, whether it's in a conversation, while doing an activity, or even in your own thoughts. When you practice mindfulness, you allow yourself to experience life as it is, without rushing or overthinking. This practice grounds you, quiets the noise, and helps you focus on what is important, allowing you to safeguard your peace from the distractions that threaten it. Equally important is being intentional with your environment. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you occupy, and the media you consume all have an impact on your peace. When you spend time with people who are negative, critical, or constantly in conflict, it's nearly impossible to maintain your peace. Toxic environments erode your sense of calm. That's why it's crucial to surround yourself with individuals who uplift, encourage, and support you. Create a physical space that feels peaceful to you, whether it's a clean, organized home or a quiet corner to retreat to when life feels overwhelming. Similarly, the media you consume can either promote peace or stir up unnecessary anxiety. Guard your peace by being selective with what you let into your life. At the heart of guarding your peace is the ability to control your response to external circumstances. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Life will bring challenges and people will disappoint you, but peace is found in choosing how you react. When you allow every external force to dictate your mood, you give away your power. But when you choose to respond from a place of peace, you reclaim that power. You don't have to let other people's behavior or the chaos around you steal your peace. You can remain grounded in the face of adversity by choosing calm over chaos, understanding over frustration, and stillness over anxiety. Guarding your peace also means letting go of things that no longer serve you. Sometimes the things that rob us of our peace are the grudges we hold, the bitterness we cling to, or the expectations we place on ourselves or others. Holding on to resentment or past hurts only keeps us trapped in a cycle of negativity. Letting go isn't always easy, but it's necessary for protecting your peace. Releasing what no longer serves you frees up space for peace to flourish. When you forgive, when you stop carrying the weight of the past, you create room for healing and restoration. Finally, practicing gratitude is a powerful way to cultivate and protect your peace. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. It helps you reframe your perspective, seeing blessings even in the midst of challenges. When you take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, it's as if you are fortifying your peace with a shield of thankfulness. Gratitude quiets the noise of discontentment and reminds you of the goodness that surrounds you, even in difficult times. Silence as a shield is a powerful yet often overlooked tool for self-preservation in a world that thrives on noise, opinions, and constant chatter. In a society where speaking out is encouraged, silence can be one of the most effective ways to protect yourself emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Just as a shield protects a soldier from harm, silence can protect you from external negativity, misunderstandings, and unnecessary conflict. It provides you with space, control, and peace, all while allowing you to navigate through life's challenges with grace and strength. The first way silence acts as a shield is by preventing emotional harm. We live in an age where opinions are often voiced loudly and without filter. Whether it's a harsh comment, a critique, or an argument, the world is filled with words that can wound. However, by choosing silence in the face of provocation, you shield yourself from reacting impulsively to those words. Reacting in anger or frustration can often escalate a situation, leading to deeper emotional scars. When you choose silence, instead of responding, you break the cycle of negativity. It allows you to process your emotions and regain your composure before deciding how or even if you want to engage. In these moments, silence becomes a protective buffer between you and the harmful effects of hasty words. In addition to protecting your emotions, silence also shields you from misunderstandings. We've all been in situations where a conversation spirals out of control because of a misinterpretation of words or tone. Silence in these instances can be the key to preventing a situation from escalating. By remaining quiet, you avoid saying something that could be taken the wrong way or contribute to a misunderstanding. Sometimes the best course of action is to simply listen and allow the other person to express themselves fully. In doing so, you give yourself the opportunity to understand the situation more clearly rather than rushing in with a response that may only create more confusion. Silence is also a shield against the pressure of others' expectations. In a world where everyone seems to have an opinion on how you should live, behave, or think, silence allows you to stand firm in your own beliefs and values. Rather than being swept away by the constant tide of external opinions, silence gives you the power to stay centered in your own truth. You don't need to justify your choices or explain yourself to everyone. Silence is your way of saying that you are in control of your own narrative. It protects your autonomy and allows you to make decisions based on your own sense of purpose and integrity, not on the demands or judgments of others. Moreover, silence can protect you from the drain of unnecessary drama. Life is full of distractions, gossip, and conflicts that are often unimportant in the grand scheme of things. When you choose silence, you're saying no to engaging in that drama. Whether it's refraining from getting involved in gossip at work, avoiding the temptation to participate in online arguments, or choosing not to engage in petty disputes, silence helps you maintain your peace. It becomes a protective force that shields you from the emotional energy drain that drama often brings. In choosing not to contribute to these negative conversations, you preserve your mental and emotional well-being. Finally, silence serves as a shield by allowing you to protect your intentions and actions. In today's world of oversharing, it's easy to feel pressure to express every thought, share every plan, or broadcast every intention. However, silence allows you to operate with more discretion. By not revealing everything, you protect yourself from people who may not have your best interests at heart or who may try to use your words against you. It allows your actions to speak louder than your words, giving you the ability to follow through on your goals without the interference of outside opinions. Silence allows you to remain focused, avoiding the distractions that come from sharing too much too soon. In all these ways, silence becomes a shield, one that offers protection from emotional harm, misunderstandings, unnecessary drama, and the pressures of external expectations. It empowers you to navigate life with a sense of control and peace, choosing when to speak and when to remain quiet, always with the awareness that silence can be one of your greatest tools for self-preservation. Wisdom in listening is one of the most powerful yet underrated skills we can cultivate. In a world filled with constant distractions and a tendency to respond immediately, the art of listening is often overlooked. However, true wisdom lies not in the words we speak, but in the depth of our listening. Listening is more than just hearing words. It is the ability to fully understand, absorb, and process what is being communicated, both verbally and non-verbally. It's the silent act of giving attention, not only to the content of the conversation, but also to the context, the emotions, and the underlying truths that may not be immediately apparent. When we listen with wisdom, we are able to understand deeper meanings. Often people speak from a place of emotion, experience, or fear, and it's easy to miss the true intent behind their words if we're too focused on our own responses. A wise listener goes beyond surface level words and seeks to understand what the speaker is really trying to communicate. This kind of listening requires patience and empathy. It's about paying attention to the subtle cues, the pauses between sentences, and the nonverbal signals that accompany the spoken words. It's through this deeper listening that we can truly begin to understand the heart of the message, not just the words themselves. Listening with wisdom also allows us to gain insight into others' perspectives. Every person comes to the table with their own unique experiences, beliefs, and viewpoints. When we take the time to truly listen, we open ourselves up to seeing the world from someone else's perspective. Instead of jumping to conclusions or assuming we know what someone is thinking, a wise listener allows the other person to speak freely and fully. This opens the door to understanding their needs, concerns, and desires. By listening intently, we broaden our own view of the world and gain insight that can challenge our assumptions and expand our thinking. Furthermore, listening creates space for growth and learning. In any conversation, there is an opportunity to learn something new. When we actively listen, we absorb information that can enrich our knowledge and understanding. Every conversation, no matter how small, holds the potential for growth. Wise listening opens the door to this continuous process of learning. Whether we are listening to someone with more experience, learning about a new idea, or simply hearing about another person's perspective, listening carefully allows us to grow in ways that speaking cannot. The more we listen, the more we grow, and the more we understand the complexities of the world and the people in it. In addition, wise listening leads to stronger, more meaningful relationships. Communication is the cornerstone of any relationship, and listening is at the heart of effective communication. When we listen well, we show respect and validation for the other person's thoughts and feelings. It fosters trust and connection. People want to feel heard, and when we take the time to truly listen to them, it builds rapport and strengthens the bond between us. It demonstrates that we value them enough to give them our full attention. Listening becomes a tool for building deeper and more authentic relationships, whether in personal friendships, family dynamics, or professional settings. Listening with wisdom also requires us to suspend judgment and be present. Often our minds race ahead, formulating responses before the other person has even finished speaking. We may even think we know what they're going to say, or we may be eager to share our own thoughts. But true listening demands that we resist the urge to judge, interrupt, or offer advice prematurely. By staying present and fully engaged in the conversation, we allow the speaker to express themselves completely before jumping in. This absence of judgment allows us to remain open, creating a safe space for authentic conversation. Lastly, listening with wisdom involves learning to listen to silence. Sometimes the most powerful form of communication is not in words, but in what is left unsaid. Silence can hold a wealth of meaning and insight. A wise listener pays attention to the moments of quiet, where emotions, unspoken truths, or internal conflicts may reside. By recognizing the power of silence, we understand that listening is not only about hearing words, but also about being attuned to the unspoken dynamics of the conversation. Avoiding the trap of gossip is one of the most important actions you can take to preserve your integrity, protect your peace, and maintain healthy relationships. Gossip can seem harmless at first, a way to bond with others or to stay connected with the latest news. However, when you engage in gossip, you may not only damage your own reputation, but also contribute to the spread of negativity, distrust, and division. The trap of gossip is subtle, and once caught in it, it can be difficult to escape. The ability to avoid it, however, is a powerful choice that can safeguard both your personal well-being and the well-being of those around you. First, it's essential to understand that gossip is often rooted in insecurity or a desire for attention. When people gossip, they often do so to feel superior or to boost their own self-esteem. By talking about others, especially in a negative light, people seek to elevate themselves by comparison. However, this false sense of superiority is fleeting and can ultimately leave one feeling empty and dissatisfied. By participating in gossip, you unknowingly contribute to this cycle of insecurity and attempt to fill the void with shallow conversations. Avoiding gossip means choosing to rise above the need to feel validated by putting others down. Instead, you focus on cultivating a sense of inner strength and confidence grounded in self-respect and empathy. Another reason gossip is so tempting is the desire for connection. Many people engage in gossip to feel a sense of belonging or to bond with others. It can be easier to talk about someone else's life or problems than to share your own experiences or challenges. This may create an illusion of intimacy or closeness, but it's based on a foundation of negativity. True connection, however, is formed through authentic and meaningful conversations, not by speaking ill of others. By avoiding gossip, you are creating a space for more genuine, uplifting exchanges. You can still bond with others, but through shared experiences, mutual respect, and positive dialogue that nurtures relationships rather than damaging them. Moreover, gossip is inherently destructive. When you talk about others behind their backs, you contribute to the spread of misinformation, half-truths, and assumptions. It can create rifts between people, build false narratives, and fuel unnecessary conflict. The impact of gossip often goes beyond the immediate conversation. A rumor passed between two people can quickly multiply and damage someone's reputation, often irreparably. Once a harmful statement is made, it's difficult, if not impossible, to undo the damage. People start to distrust each other, and relationships become tainted by suspicion. Avoiding gossip helps prevent these destructive cycles and ensures that you contribute to a culture of trust and respect rather than one of division and hurt. In addition to its negative impact on relationships, gossip can also negatively affect your own emotional health. Engaging in gossip can leave you feeling drained, anxious, or even guilty. When you gossip, you open yourself up to negative energy, and that energy can affect how you view others and how you view yourself. The act of talking about someone else, particularly when done with judgment or malice, often reflects an internal struggle. It's easy to fall into the habit of talking about others when you're feeling dissatisfied with your own life or uncertain about your own self-worth. However, the more you engage in gossip, the more it feeds into a cycle of negativity. Avoiding gossip, on the other hand, gives you the freedom to focus on more positive meaning. It allows you to protect your mental and emotional well-being. enabling you to feel lighter and more focused on the things that truly matter. It's also important to recognize that gossip often reveals more about the person speaking than about the person being discussed. What we say about others says a great deal about who we are, our values, our character, and our priorities. If you find yourself tempted to engage in gossip, consider this. What does it say about you when you speak negatively of others? Often, those who gossip do so because they're seeking validation or attention from others, but they fail to recognize that this behavior diminishes their own character in the process. By choosing not to participate in gossip, you take a stand for your own values. You make it clear that you choose integrity, kindness, and respect over easy, harmful conversations. Instead of contributing to a culture of judgment and criticism, you become an advocate for positive, supportive, and uplifting communication. One of the most powerful ways to avoid the trap of gossip is to redirect conversations when they begin to take a negative turn. If someone starts gossiping, gently steer the discussion toward more positive or neutral topics. If you feel uncomfortable or pressured to join in, it's okay to remain silent or excuse yourself from the conversation altogether. You don't need to participate in every discussion you're invited into, especially if it compromises your values. Redirecting the conversation in a constructive direction not only helps to protect your integrity, but can also influence others to follow your lead, creating an environment where gossip is less likely to thrive. The phrase, "let your actions speak," is a powerful reminder that words, no matter how carefully chosen, are often less impactful than what we do. Actions have a way of cutting through the noise, showing the true nature of our character, our values, and our intentions. Words can be easily manipulated, forgotten, or misinterpreted, but actions have a lasting effect. They leave a mark that can be felt and witnessed by others. In a world full of talk, it's easy to get caught up in promises, declarations, and opinions. However, when you choose to let your actions speak, you align yourself with authenticity, integrity, and meaningful influence. One of the most significant aspects of letting your actions speak is that it creates clarity and consistency. Often we are surrounded by people who say one thing and do another. Their words may sound convincing, but their actions betray their true intentions. This inconsistency breeds confusion and mistrust. On the other hand, when you let your actions reflect your words, you build credibility and trust. If you say you value honesty, but consistently act with integrity, others will see this and believe it. Your actions become a testament to your character, reinforcing what you stand for. In the long run, it's your consistent actions, not your words, that shape how people perceive you and trust you. Letting your actions speak also allows you to avoid the trap of empty promises. We all know people who make grand declarations about what they plan to do or who they want to become, but their actions never align with their words. These empty promises, when unfulfilled, not only diminish their credibility, but also cause disappointment and disillusionment in others. Instead of getting caught up in making promises, focus on demonstrating your commitment through tangible action. Whether it's working toward a goal, helping others without expecting recognition, or simply showing up when you say you will, your actions will make a much greater impact than any promise ever could. Moreover, when you let your actions speak, you lead by example. True leadership is not about giving orders or making declarations. It's about inspiring others through your behavior. When people see you consistently acting with kindness, respect, and discipline, they are more likely to follow suit. Leadership isn't always about being in the spotlight. Often, it's about quietly doing the right thing in the background, influencing others through your own example. Your actions inspire change in ways that words alone cannot. By leading with your actions, you create a ripple effect that encourages others to step up and do the same. Actions also communicate intentions more clearly than words ever could. It's easy to talk about what we want to do or what we believe, but without action, those words often remain just that, empty words. Intentions, when paired with action, are given weight. When you take steps toward a goal, demonstrate care for others, or put effort into something meaningful, you show the world your true motivations. Words are subject to interpretation and can be misunderstood, but actions are universal. They speak a language that transcends culture, language, and personal bias. When you let your actions speak, you eliminate the confusion between what you say and what you do. In addition, letting your actions speak builds self-respect and personal growth. It's easy to get caught up in external validation, seeking praise or recognition for our words and opinions. However, when you focus on taking consistent, intentional action, you develop a sense of self-worth that comes from within. Your growth is measured not by how well you talk about your goals, but by how dedicated you are to achieving them. Your actions reflect the progress you've made and the person you're becoming. As you commit to aligning your actions with your values, you experience greater satisfaction and fulfillment because you know that you're living with integrity and purpose. Finally, letting your actions speak helps you to cultivate deeper connections with others. People are drawn to authenticity, and actions are the truest form of self-expression. When you demonstrate your values through actions, you create bonds with others who resonate with those same values. Whether it's offering support during tough times, standing up for what's right, or quietly making a positive difference in your community, your actions form the foundation for strong relationships. Words can connect us, but actions build trust, mutual respect, and loyalty over time. By letting your actions speak, you invite others to see your true self, fostering deeper and more meaningful connections. In a world where everyone has something to say, actions speak louder than words. What we do defines us more than what we say. Choosing to live in a way that reflects our beliefs, values, and intentions is the most powerful statement we can make. Timing is everything. This phrase carries a profound truth that resonates in nearly every aspect of life, whether in personal relationships, career decisions, or even day-to-day interactions. The ability to recognize and act at the right moment can make all the difference. Timing isn't just about when you choose to act, but about understanding the flow of events, the readiness of yourself and others, and the broader context in which things unfold. Mastering timing requires patience, intuition, and discernment, and it's a skill that can be cultivated over time. One of the most obvious areas where timing plays a critical role is in personal relationships. The way we communicate with those closest to us often depends on the right timing. Sometimes it's about knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Words can be powerful, but when spoken at the wrong time, they can hurt, misunderstand. A compassionate word delivered at the right moment can heal wounds and build deeper connection, while the same words, if poorly timed, can come across as insincere or dismissive. Whether it's offering support during a difficult time, expressing love or gratitude, or even addressing a conflict, the right timing can determine whether your actions strengthen or strain your relationships. In addition to external opportunities, timing is also crucial in understanding our own readiness and growth. Sometimes we can be so eager to achieve a goal that we rush ahead without considering whether we are truly prepared. Recognizing when you're ready to take the next step in your personal or professional journey can make the difference between success and failure. Timing allows us to pause and reflect on whether the moment is right, whether we've acquired the necessary skills, or whether we've given ourselves enough time to grow and develop. Just as a flower needs the right amount of time to bloom, we too need patience to allow our potential to fully unfold. Moreover, timing is essential when it comes to embracing change. Change often comes with its own sense of timing. Sometimes waiting for the right moment to embrace a new opportunity or adapt to a shift in life can be difficult. But forcing change before you are ready can lead to unnecessary frustration. On the other hand, delaying change when it's time to act can result in stagnation. The ability to understand when to move with the flow of life and when to hold back is key to navigating transition smoothly and with success. Timing also plays a vital role in creativity and problem solving. Whether you are working on a creative project, solving a complex issue, or coming up with a new idea, timing can impact your level of inspiration and success. Creative breakthroughs often happen when we are in the right headspace at the right time. Sometimes it's about knowing when to step away from a problem, to let ideas incubate, and when to dive in and execute with precision. Timing allows the mind to come up with solutions and ideas when they're most needed and can prevent burnout or frustration from rushing ahead too quickly. Ultimately, mastering timing means recognizing that not everything is within your control, and that sometimes waiting for the right moment is as important as taking action. Patience becomes a tool in itself, one that can help you discern when to act, when to wait, and when to let things unfold naturally. Timing is not about forcing or manipulating events. It's about working with the flow of life, knowing that there is a time for everything and that everything will come to fruition when the moment is right. In conclusion, timing, silence, wisdom, and actions all play pivotal roles in how we navigate life's challenges and opportunities. By understanding the power of restraint, guarding our peace, and allowing our actions to speak louder than words, we can build stronger relationships, protect our well-being, and lead with integrity. Choosing to listen wisely, avoid gossip, and act with patience not only transforms how we interact with others, but also shapes our personal growth. In the end, mastering these principles empowers us to live with intention, making thoughtful decisions that align with our values and purpose.